proud of our team. Love the way they come out and started the game. Played really well defensively, offensively, very efficient, taking the first 2 drives down, played really well, got ahead. And that was one of our challenges, get ahead, stay ahead, and keep playing from ahead, learning how to do that, and keep taking steps and learning to do that process. And very proud of our team. I thought they played very hard, thought they played with good consistency. Again, that is Boston College, a very physical football team. Best defensively, they force a lot of fronts, a lot of blitzes, a lot of challenge you in a lot of different ways, and try to make you play over the top of them, which we were able to do tonight. Auden, some of the guys in the verticals and the passing game down the field was able to make plays. And usually it is hard running football on them. They give you some ugly negative runs because they put so many guys in the box and blitz and twist and do things. But Dalvin's still able to get over 100 yards. Quarterback runs really helped us in the numbers and the angles when we had to use those. And what we did, but getting better as a football team. We always want to get better in November and keep progressing. I think we are. Defensively, we were outstanding. I thought they were lights out, getting off the field on third down, playing the run, keeping great contained, because they do a great job of getting edge sweeps and those speed sweeps. We were really playing those really well, and the special team did a nice job, and punted the ball much better tonight too. And very proud of Logan. He had a good night, hit a big field goal, and see some of his leg and the things he's doing. So very proud of our team. Again, a lot of work to do. They get ready to play a very good Syracuse team next week up there in the Dome. It's a tough place to play, so we'll get ready to go. Questions?
Defensively, you talked about it until the second team came in. I believe you guys were you held them to 0 of 11 on third down. What do you think it was about your defense that allowed you to have so much success to where their big play, I think, was that big run early in the first quarter?
Well, I think we kept great leverage on the ball. We played well on first down to get them second long, third long. And then you played from ahead, and then we covered well. I mean, we were able to cover, kept great leverage, and those young guys have learned how to play. We kept pressured the quarterback when we had to pressure him, and they give different looks, and Charles and those guys did a really nice job.
Jimbo, how good to get the monkey off your back, get that quick start, because it's been a long time since you guys been
able to do that. And just learn how to do that, and they got to go out and relax and do it. And I said, it's a part of growing and maturing as when a young football team, those young guys. I say sometimes you say, well, they're not intense enough, or they get too intense. Just do your job, have great weeks of practice. And like I said, when you practice really well and you learn to practice, not just practice, but practice well, you feel confident. It's like studying for a test. And all of a sudden those answers come and you're relaxed, you're not pressing yourself, and they're learning how to do that. They're learning how to practice and prepare for games with so much youth, and then they're going out and executing. They're getting better at it.
Did you feel like going in after a good week of practice that they had a right mindset to go in and play?
I did. I felt good, and that was one of our huge challenges. That was my Friday talk about learning how to get ahead, stay ahead, and play from ahead and finish. And we did all those things.
Jimbo, I asked you after his game against South Florida last year, we had 266, and Dalvin was the best running back you've ever coached, and you said it was too early. Is it time now?
Listen, I wouldn't trade it for anybody. I know that. I don't ever say the best I've ever coached. Because I'm gonna tell you something, guys. I've been fortunate in my lifetime to play and be a part of some phenomenal players. And I don't ever like to compare, like comparing the children. You don't ever say which child do you love the most. You know what I'm saying? But talent-wise, Dalvin is a special cat. I mean, he is, and to be selfless as he is, and he's as good as I've. I mean, I'm putting this. He's in that top group of guys that just. When you talk about performance, you talk about leadership, you talk about teammate, you talk about selfless, you talk about all the things that you really include to be and affect your teammates in a positive way. He's just a phenomenal guy.
Did you know how close he was to the record tonight? Yeah. It's 35-0. It's hard. I know.
It was, and I went over to him and I said, I'd have never forgave myself. He went out there in the fourth quarter to what this team could still achieve, the year it can still have, and for him to get injured at the end of the football game like that. I mean, and like he said, and we both said, we don't play for records. That's not what we play for. We play for team. He's the coach. We won the game. That's what I'm here for. We play well as a team. And again, another sign of why he's Dalvin.
Jimbo, what do you see this team still being able to achieve?
A lot. I mean, I still think this team getting better and better and better. And these seniors leaving a legacy of hard work and learning these young guys, just because you didn't have all your goals and everything didn't go right, to keep working hard, to persevere and become as good as you can become. And that's the ultimate goal at the end of the day, become the team you possibly can become. Young guys leaving a legacy of what the future can hold and how they have to practice, how they have to achieve, how to still go in. You're still playing, still got another arch rival, you still got an ACC game left, and you still got a chance to win 10 games. I mean, in the legacy of doing all that and winning a bowl game. I mean, but more importantly, the pride of who you are. You have pride in your work. And when you, at the end of the day, become as good as you can become and have great pride in how you practice and how you play, you achieve everything you want to achieve, because that's what it's all about. It's not about championships, it's not about that. It's about becoming what you can become. And when you do that, all the other things fall in place.
You talk about the young guys tonight. We see Auden, 6 receptions, 101 yards, 2 touchdowns. We've seen Nooney have 2 good games. We're seeing Auden with another big game. How would you describe the progress you've seen from him just over the last few weeks
Well,
going into
and they're
today?
learning, because I'm gonna tell you what, ask them how much I've been in their tail for about the last 8-10 weeks. And then when they happen, and then we're forcing them to play them, because I wasn't gonna say, if you're gonna play, I'd go make some big plays, but I need those every down plays. I need that consistency, because we gotta have play as a team, and they have done it. I've been extremely pleased with them. And, and that's when, what you're capable of and how you play, they have to match up. And those guys are learning how to do that.
Well, do you think these two games have kind of shown that Auden, at least for himself, can be more than just that guy who's in jump ball situations in red zone, that he can be in every
He's
down
learning
receiver?
how to do it, learning how to, and there's still some time on that. He got bumped around tonight and learning to play with his size, and he's got to always learn to bend. He's got to learn to bend like a little guy and then use his size when he has to, and you got to keep that great flexibility in his hips. And he's learning to do that. He's learning to run more routes. We're adding more to his plate and understanding situations, leverages, all those types of things. He's growing.
Jim, I know the circumstances weren't ideal, but Sean getting to play on senior day.
Oh, I was extremely happy. To come in and hit a big go route and he can now throw 2 touchdowns like he did. And I mean, again, I told you, his parents will be the proudest parents in the world. And that guy right there is salt of the earth. And whatever you ask him to do, again, another great teammate, another great senior, what he's achieved, the big games he's played, whatever yes sir, I'll do it. He goes in and performs every time he goes in with a lot of heart and a lot of toughness. I mean, just very proud and happy.
Jim, what is status on DeAndre's injury? And,
He's fine. He just took a shot on the shoulder and it was bruised up right there and got a little sore guy. Took him pretty good. And then Sean was in. I said, we're up. There ain't no sense to go back. You'll have a bruise. I mean, it didn't dislocate or anything like this, a bruise, and we'll heal him up and be ready to go.
Jimbo, tonight only 50 yards passing for Boston College. I believe it was about 25 before that garbage time drive. But what was really effective about the pass defense?
I think had great leverage on the football. I mean, we pressured the quarterback. I don't know how many sacks we get on tonight.
3 sacks.
3 sacks and got a lot of pressures. And 1 first down. I mean, then 1 first down, and we covered very tightly. Played great leverage on the football. Got up in guys, and those young guys, those DBs are just learning to play their techniques so much better.
Who individually has really grown the last few weeks?
All of them. I mean, all of them in general have. They all have. I know that sounds like a cliche or a coach talk. It's not. I mean, they all have grown because they're learning how to prepare and practice. And not what they're learning to do is the ability God gave them is the last thing they use. They're learning how to get lined up, play great leverage, understand the down and distance, understand how to prepare, where to play, where their help is, and then all of a sudden, then that athletic ability comes. That's the last thing you want to use. They're learning to play the game mentally and psychologically the way you want to play.
Jimbo, early on, the pass protection seemed to be really good. They had a couple breakdowns.
We did, and that one in they got down 7. That's why I got them deer hips now. He can drop them hips and come around that corner. And big guy had a groin injury. And 71 got a groin injury right there, and it was bothering him. He wouldn't, didn't come out, and he couldn't get that hip open. It was bothering him, and they got some pressure. And we cut that drive right before half. I was disappointed we couldn't get something there, but that guy's a good pass rusher. Then we went back. We changed protection. Went back, chipped him a little bit, banged him around, and helped that tackle. And you got to be able to do that when you get great pass rushers.
But when you guys did protect it well, you were able to take a lot of shots downfield to make it.
We were, because I said they make you play, and it's not ugly, but what I mean is that it's feast or famine. I mean, they get up in your grill. They're big. Their DBs are long too now. So I mean, they can get long, and so they can get their hands on things. They play great leverage. They play physical, and they try to make you play over the top of them. And then we got over the top. Then when we got over the top, we did a great job with our back shoulder throws on the fades. We're learning how to do that. And then the crossing routes, we got open a couple times, and then some boots and things. But they made us play that way, and our young receivers playing physical back. In other words, giving us the space to back shoulder. Travis Rudolph. I know you talk about odd, but Travis Rudolph played a heck of a football game. I had one play he made the score down. That was outstanding. But he caught 2 big-time back shoulder fades, too, that we stuck, and they guys were playing over the top. But he squeezed and gave us room so we could back shoulder and fade to the sideline. And just, they're overall not, I mean, and it doesn't seem like a lot. How far those guys have grown in the last 3 to 4 to 5 weeks and learning how to create, I say, those inches. Give me a yard or 2 more. Now it's a completion instead of out of bounds. I mean, they're learning the details of really how you have to play.
You talk about those details, and you talked about it a lot this year and last year. When do you kind of sense that a guy gets it? What's that aha moment when you go, okay, damn, they picked up on something, or is it a game
Like
situation?
right there. Well, you got to go take it to the field. You can play in practice all day and you see it, but then you have to take it from the practice field to the game field, and that's what these young guys are eventually learning to do. And it's getting better and better.
Jimbo, how refreshing was it to coach in a game like that, where you got to play, you got a big lead, not only that, but then you got.
Felt weird.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
You used to do that a lot. No, it was, but this is encouraging. But something, when you coach, as crazy as that sounds, it's not a lot different. I mean, you're still, to me, it's 0-0 every time you get the ball.
But for the development of those.
Oh, well, and learning how to do that, and learning how to to keep the foot on the pedal, you know what I'm saying, and learn to play every play and do that. And again, that's part of their growing process, and that's what I'm hoping to get out of this November and keep going right into the offseason.
Sure, were you glad to get Logan a chance to kick one and obviously see him come through?
Yeah, you did. I mean, he got that long field goal. You said when I told you, when we get outside about 51, 52 yards, he'll come in and he can hit it. He got a lot more in that leg too now. But and I tell you what, I was really happy he punted much better tonight. His consistency, his punch, his hang time, getting them off, and you know, he's a very talented young man.
We saw before the game, the main Twitter account tweeted that Nate Andrews, it looks like he might be coming back for next year. What can you say on that situation?
Well, I don't know that. I mean, he falls into the category that qualifies for it. Now, the NCAA has to grant it, and I'm sure, I wouldn't know why they wouldn't for what goes on. So if that happens, then that's what we'll do.
Jimbo, pretty low in
He
penalties.
missed, but he couldn't leave me.
Pretty low in penalties. You had 3 for 18 yards, I think, before that last late one. Does that go back again? Your mentality you said they had going into this game, is that?
Well, they're learning
function
how
of
to
that?
practice, and when you get penalties when you get in bad positions. You get penalties when you're nervous, when you jump, and you don't feel you're prepared, or you're not confident. And you know, even though, and you could be confident, but you got to relax and do it. You know what I mean? It's all part of maturing. And you know, it's like you get fouls in basketball where you don't move your feet, you reach. Same thing in football. You grab, you move. You know what I mean? You don't get hat placement. You don't play with pad level. You don't bend your knees. You get lazy. You know, those type of things. And we're learning how not to do that more and more. And like I said, there was no magical formula. There's no magic dust I put on them. It's a magic voice. It's a magic yelling. But it's some grinding. But I mean, you just got to make them do it. And they got to understand how to grind. I say it all the time. If you don't like to grind, it's hard to be a good football player. There's no easy way to be a good football player. It doesn't exist. I don't care how talented you are.
Jimbo, DeAndre was 9 for 11 in the first quarter with the 2 touchdowns. What was happening for him to get in a rhythm like that?
Those guys got open. We give them protection. I joke. I mean, it is that simple. I mean, they got open. He made some real nice back shoulder throws. The one to Nooney in the corner. Nooney actually went a little bit quick on him, but he can quicken his hands up, and he's learning, and he's just processing the game more and more, seeing it and understanding situations, seeing leverages. I'd say as a quarterback and a receiver, what you don't realize is you got to understand leverage. Where a guy's front shoulder, back shoulder, you know, low hip, high hip, you know, wherever those are in the ball placements, and he's just getting more accurate and accurate. His feet getting better and better.
It seemed like some of those plays were in shotgun formation. You guys trying to create
Well,
some time there?
we were trying to get off the ball because they knew what they did, and trying to run from there and still be able to include the I formation with the pistol and some of the things we did.
Jimbo, a lot of success against BC in the past. Prior to the touchdown, you guys have held them scoreless in 8 consecutive quarters. Why is it about shutting down BC that just has become a habit for this team?
We know because we know this. They're going to play great defense on their side. Fortunately, we scored tonight, and we better be able to do it against them. And for some reason, we match up well. We seem to match up well. I don't know what it is, and I'm glad.
And managing their emotions, or the team's emotions, is going to be key to winning out, which is going to be fun to watch, and fun to watch you coach. How do you prepare this young team that's been beat up a little bit, the defense especially, for the speed of the offense of Syracuse?
Well, I mean, I think we see, as crazy as this sounds, you see more no-huddle teams now than you see huddle teams. And we practice against it every day. But again, the way they do it and their styles are a little bit different. I mean, they got splits wide. They got 4 or 5 receivers all the time. The quarterback, Dungy, I mean, he is, I'm going to tell you what, that guy's a playmaker. He's an athletic guy that can run around, and it's going to be a huge challenge. But we're going to have to, again, keep great leverage. We've got to have great conditioning. We're going to have more guys, and hopefully the maturity, and then we'll get an extra day to prepare, and hopefully we'll lock in.
Obviously, we're happy with the way they handled the short week.
Oh, yeah, very, very happy. Now, you know, myself trying to manage making sure we get enough work and toughness and get better, at the same time trying to stay fresh, and our guys locked in and handled it really well. You know what's crazy about, you don't think about playing Thursday and Friday games. When you're in a hotel, your temperament, because you know Saturday you turn on, there's ball games, your mind gets set to play. You look at those. Now we got soap operas and Law and Order and all that stuff, man. I mean, it's a different mentality now. I mean, I had to turn the film. I had to watch some film and do some things. I mean, you know, you catch yourself daydreaming. I mean, but you know, all that's craziness, but it's all part of your maturing process.
Jimbo, in the Miami game and the Clemson game, DeAndre was able to come back in after needing some medical attention.
He could have came back in. There wasn't no sense to it. Sean was playing well, and we're very content with Sean in the game.
One more. We're good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good.